Dante, what's one of these days been like for you thus far?
Yeah, they've been good. I arrived yesterday, had a bit of delay in my flight, so got in late yesterday and straight into interviews, and then early wake up this morning for a bit of some medical testing, eye testing, so good.
Who have you interviewed with?
I've interviewed with Phoenix, Philly, and Detroit.
How many more today for you?
I have 4 more today.
Milwaukee, one of those?
Yes.
Milwaukee's one of those.
You have a little familiarity with Brett Brown from the Sixers, I guess, coaching your father-in-law. Just how well do you know him? How long have you known him? What's your relationship like with him?
Yeah, I've had a good relationship with him. He brought me into my first ever Australian national team camp a couple of years ago, and it was good to catch up with him again and see where we've gone in the years.
Dante, you've been working out in LA since what? Since March?
Since after All-Star break.
After the All-Star break. And just tell us about how that's worked out and what you've been doing there and how it's helped prepare you for this stage and for the draft process.
Yeah, it's been good. I've been going twice a day, shooting in the morning, strength conditioning after that, and then a skills workout with some trainers. And it's been a good process for me, and just I guess fine-tuning everything that I need to work on. So.
Dante, do you miss playing like 5-on-5 over these last couple of months?
Yeah, it kind of gets to the point where you're thinking, when am I actually going to get to play for the 5-on-5? But I know with the summer ahead, and summer league, and World Cup with the Australian national team, and then the NBA season, I'm going to get to play a lot of 5-on-5. So if I got to spend a couple of months just working on my game, and that's all I'm going to get for the until like next year this time, then I'll take it.
Dante, which teams so far interviewed you?
What was that?
Which teams so far have interviewed you?
It was Phoenix, Detroit, and Philly.
How did it go?
Yeah, they were all good. Good to finally meet them and put names to faces.
What kind of questions do they have?
Yeah, it's a typical questions, and it was just them kind of explaining why they want to meet with me. They haven't seen me, what my game's like. Just trying to get a feel for me as a person.
What have you worked on specifically since you came to the college?
I think what I've really tried to work on was definitely obviously shooting. Everyone can get better at shooting, and that's one thing me and my trainers have definitely tried to get better at. Also, finishing around the rim. Stepping up to the next level is going to be a huge jump. So finishing and post moves. So as a taller guard, it's a good thing to have.
Dante, no one. Do you see yourself as a combo guard, or do you see yourself that you can be a point guard?
I see myself as a point guard. I've always played the point guard position. That's where I feel comfortable, and I think that's what I'm entering myself into the draft as, and that's where I see myself playing.
Do you get the sense the teams are familiar with your game, that they have an idea of what you're about, or are they?
Yeah. I guess they all have an idea of what I'm about, but like I said, they've seen some of the college players play 40-game seasons, and they haven't seen me a lot. So I guess when they're trying to look at tape, they can't see a lot of tape of me.
Do you feel like that puts you at a disadvantage?
Yeah, it both has its advantages and disadvantages because they haven't seen me since last year, July. But also, I guess I stay hidden in a way. But yeah, so it works both ways.
Dante, when you say you see yourself as a point guard, because obviously that's what you've played, when you see teams talking to you, showing interest that already have established point guards, does that?
Yeah, most teams looking at me, they're trying to look at a kind of a 2-point guard setup, which kind of works where they can get to the point guard and they can run the show. So I think both ways.
Can you describe your game? Because none of us have seen you play, except for a few YouTube clips, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so my game has changed a whole lot since those clips. But from those clips, I'm a get to the ring type of player, and I'm beat my man off the dribble and try and draw help to find open players, and I guess that's what puts me in a good position to be a point guard, and also to be that kind of vocal leader that I can have that voice to say to players what needs to be done, and that kind of the voice on the court for the coach.
Learn a lot of Sixers about what it would be like to play for the Sixers, with the background with Brett Brown and your father and the fact that he was over in Australia for all those years. What would it be like to play for Brett?
Yeah, well, I've known Brett, so it'll be a cool position to put myself into, but it's got to work out in the favors of the draft and everything, the lottery. So I guess we'll see what happens.
There aren't a lot of 6'6" point guards. Is there anybody you can compare yourself to who's played or is playing?
Yeah, I always get asked this question, and it's a difficult one to answer. And I can't look at one player and say that's who I play like, but I can see different types, different traits that players have that I see.
Like who, for example, do you see?
I like to kind of look at Russell Westbrook as that explosive point guard, get to the rim and explode. But then also I like to also look at Manu Ginobili when he gets into the paint, and also the way he can finish. So it's just looking at different plays and what they can do and how it can help my game.
Dante, where's your game defensively?
My game defensively is pretty good. I've got great foot speed, and that's something we've definitely been working on the last two months. If I want to be a point guard, so I'm going to be entering a league where there's a lot of fast point guards. So I think working on my foot speed is definitely going to be something that I need to keep working on. But also my strength, and that's something we've also been working on in the weight room, and just getting that strong core base, so I'm doing the hitting and not getting hit.
How much traveling have you been able to do throughout the U.S., and what are some of your favorite cities that you've seen?
Yeah, I've travelled a lot, and it's mainly been around the world for Australia. But I've been here for Adidas Nations, to Vegas, and mostly California for the tournaments that I participated in.
Dante,
Do you anticipate that teams will come watch your workouts in LA between now and the draft, or like some kind of setups like that?
I guess it depends on what my agent wants and what he feels is best for me. So it could very well be that they come and watch me work out.
Dante, you were quoted as saying you might like to go to the Lakers. Is that right?
Yeah, it's a thing that the media have twisted from what I've said. But like obviously, Lakers are a great organization, and but I'm in this draft to go to a place where I feel best that is a good fit for me, and whatever team that is the best place for me. There's no one team that I really want to go to.
How many Lakers games did you go to this spring?
I think I went to three.
How do you feel growing up in Australia shaped your personality?
I guess it did. I was hidden away from the cameras and the lights in a way. I've never done something like this with a lot of these cameras, and but it's my parents have done a good job in raising me and my brothers and my sisters, so I think it goes to them.
Did you have role model? Andrew Bogut was the #1 pick in the draft by the Bucks in 2005. You got Patty Mills. You got a lot of Australian players who have succeeded. Were they role models for you at all?
Yeah, definitely. Like you look at someone like a Patty Mills who's got drafted, and he's kind of gone through the hard times to get to where he is now, and he's getting decent time. You see he had a great game last night. So definitely looking up to him, and he's played in the national team program for some time now. What he's done for basketball in Australia is something I definitely look up to.